Yo, you already know the vibes, man. It's DBPOTD. We back. Episode 32. Feel me? I think it's episode number 32. So welcome. You feel me? First and foremost, this is another update video. I want to get y'all in the game. You feel me? I'm trying to put y'all on as much information as possible before we really get back into it too deep. You feel me? Because again, it's good to make the money, but it's also good to know where the money gonna come from. You feel me? So, and how it's coming, how to make it, you know. And I want y'all to be able to teach ourselves how to do this. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you shouldn't need nobody like me, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't need me, you shouldn't need another person. You should be able to do this on your own now. If you still have somebody like me in your corner just for assistance, for support, for, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know what I'm saying, encouragement, whatever it may be, if that's what you need it for, that's what you use it for, then that's A-okay, right? However, you should be able to do these things for yourself, and that's what I want to be able to educate y'all on, right? So, you know, allow me to put y'all in the game. You feel me? Let me do for y'all how I can. You know, I'm trying to, you know, do my best. So that's why I've been coming to y'all again with a couple of these update videos, because, you know, right now is an important time that I sort of, you know, that I let you know the information that's, you know, being given. Feel me? So I ain't gonna waste your time, because this shouldn't be too long, but y'all also know how I get when it come down to videos and stuff, so it might be a little long. However, look, so the last video I sort of tapped in a little bit on, you know, XRP creating their ETF. It's a ProShare ETF, 2x leverage. Go do your research, you know, educate yourself on what they got going on with that, whether that's something that you really want to get into or not. That's really solely up to you. That's not what I was telling you in that video. I was just, you know, letting you know that things that I've been telling you, such as, you know, cryptos following after, you know, what stocks have already created for a foundation, cryptos are now doing. So creating these ETFs, these ways for you to be able to make money, you know, still throughout the stock market. You know, other cryptos are going to also follow suit in this. You know, you should also do your research behind companies that are, you know, doing partnerships and working with, you know, different companies that are in this crypto and AI space. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be doing some videos as well that's going to talk about this a little bit deeper, you know, because I want to get y'all in tune with a lot of this, you know, the knowledge that goes behind it as well. Because, you know, even though y'all do hear me tell y'all that, you know, you can look at the markets and pick out some things in the markets without having to know, you know, every single detail about something. That is true. However, you still should at the least want to know what's going on in the world around you and what's affecting certain things. And you'll be amazed at how, you know, smaller things start to create, well, what we perceive as smaller things create bigger ripple effects in our economy. And, you know, just how, you know, markets and, you know, different things like that start to transition over time. So again, we try to stay prepared for these type of things, which is why I also dropped for y'all that video, you know, talking about, you know, a possible crypto crash. You get what I'm saying? You know, that again is not to ever scare you. That's really just for me to keep you alert, keep you on your toes. Like, hey, be mindful that yes, this momentum is looking pretty. You seen Bitcoin touched up to 122,000. You know what I'm saying? If you paying attention, that's looking good. XRP 322s. You know what I'm saying? It's going up. It's trying to go towards all-time highs. You know what I'm saying? We got Ethereum in 3,000s range. You know what I'm saying? Going stupid. You know, we got ADA going crazy. You know what, I'm naming the ones that's in the reserves, because these are the ones that we need to all be paying attention to, you know, for a foundation right now. You know, don't get me twisted, as y'all should already know, we lock in with plenty of cryptos, because, you know, that's what, you know, our picks are for, you know, to, you know, create that versatility within our portfolio. However, at the same time, we're still paying attention to what's going on in the bigger picture. So, you know, we're seeing these all-time highs from these companies, and that's beautiful. However, we have to also still be alert that just because it's going towards these highs or it's having this momentum does not mean that this will last forever or last, you know, until it reaches its next and its next and its next. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to keep people prepared, you know, because yes, people are seeing that upside, but nobody is really talking about that possible turn that it could take. You know what I'm saying? Given that, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 things may not go the way that, you know, everybody wants it to for crypto or whatever the case may be, things can, you know, easily take a turn. And, you know, how I feel, at least, if you've really educated yourself in the markets, you know that is a real truth. You know, that's a fact that you have to recognize in any market. Doesn't matter what investment that you are in. It could be the best investment in the world. It still has the possibility that 1, 2, or maybe 3 things might happen over the course of maybe a couple days, weeks, or months, and it could affect it and, you know, damage it, you know, in a bad way. So I just try to keep y'all alert and aware to, you know, those type of things as well, because it's important. Feel me? Again, I'm gonna be talking about different topics and stuff, you know, diving deeper into, you know, some of the bigger things that's going on, maybe some things that y'all don't really talk about too much or hear about too much, topics that, you know, even if y'all have some stuff after a while that y'all decide, hey, can you hit on this a little bit? Can you like do some research into this and tell me what you think, or woo, and how it might woo? We can do all that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's an open space, open community, as I've already said. You know what I'm saying? We trying to build, you know what I'm saying? The money is great. Understand that the money is great, but at the end of the day, bro, money ain't everything, you feel me? Money is not everything. So y'all make sure that y'all staying in tune with, I just realized my hair is literally sticking up, like straight up right there. That's crazy. But y'all make sure that y'all staying in tune completely with the markets, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that y'all, you know, paying attention. Don't leave anything for chance, you know what I'm saying? So when you hear me or anybody else that's trying to, you know, give you knowledge or at least just put you on a little game in this type of situation, you know, in these areas of life, you know what I'm saying? Especially finances, especially, you know, for my people that feel as if, you know, they came from the same place where I came from, where we didn't really have that type of knowledge on what we really need to do with our finances. You sort of had to teach yourself a lot of bit for some of us. And you know what I'm saying, you had to, you know, navigate these things, and over time, you know, you grew, you learned, you made plenty of mistakes. If you somebody like me, you made plenty of mistakes, you know what I'm saying? You had plenty of ups, you had plenty of downs, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it all taught you something, you know what I'm saying? However, you know, we can limit, you know, how much downside our future has to face in this department if we educate ourselves today. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to keep letting that continue, like where, you know, kids of our kids and they kids don't know how to protect their finances and what to do with them, or how to navigate them, and, you know, how to build this and turn these things into assets, and what's not, you know, what is valuable, what isn't valuable, you know what I'm saying? We can't continue to not teach the generations after us, or we can expect them to not know anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to make it deep and, you know what I'm saying, super, whatever the word is. I can't even think of it right now, but that's my point. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to make it that deep. It's just really simple. We have to teach these things to each other, to the younger ones, so that they can be able to, you know, gain this knowledge and pass it down as we continue to, you know, go to higher heights. You feel me? We all got to elevate at some point. You feel me? We all got to, you know, meet our creator. So, you know, whatever you leave behind is whatever you leave behind. For me, you know, everything that I leave behind, you know, I feel as if it's gonna mean something to the world, just solely off the fact that we gonna build something together. It's not gonna ever just be about me. It's gonna be a us thing, you feel me? Where, again, we taught each other that I need you just as much as you need me, and together we make this world go round, and we can build a whole space for real growth. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's in business, life, love, relationships, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's spaces for everything to be built and created, and each person has their own designated path and assignment to be able to help push that, you know, that goal closer to us. Feel me? That's why I say we all gonna be able to help each other. There's gonna, again, some of y'all gonna be able to help me in the future with certain things that maybe I need help with. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know that I need help with it yet, but y'all gonna be able to help me though. You feel me? Just like you might be needing my help right now in this department of your life where you like, hey, I don't really know how to navigate these things, bro. Hey, well, I got you. It's you know, I really want to show you that when I say it's not that hard, I'm not saying that out of cockiness, out of arrogance. I'm saying that because I want to inspire you to know that I don't think out of fear. You feel me? Don't let these people trick you into believing that, you know, your success has to be so complicated. You know what I'm saying? That you have to be super smart to do anything, bro. Like, understand, somebody may classify me as smart or whatever the case may be. Bro, you ain't got to be smart to know any of this. You just have to have a certain level of discipline, dedication. And you know what I'm saying? You can achieve really anything when you do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to have it in you though to really want whatever you want, or go after whatever you're going for. You know what I'm saying? Don't be too passionate, because that can lead you to sin, but you know the vibes. Feel me? So other than that, we gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. I done talked enough, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna drag this video along, because y'all know how I do. I get the yapping on y'all. You feel me? But I did want to come back to y'all with just a little small update, let you know a couple more things, put you on a little bit more game, you know, sort of leverage a little bit of this information for you, so that when we're going into our next, you know, this next season of episodes, you know what I'm saying, y'all really be able to capture and grasp everything. Because again, this is a new quarter, y'all. It's fresh. So, you know, don't just think about what we're gonna make back in July. Think about what we're gonna make back throughout the whole quarter. Think about the whole quarter's return, and then understand we're gonna be gearing up for Q4. That's the end of the year out right, end of the year out strong. Make sure that we have everything together for all our people at the end of the year. Make sure that everything is protected. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, you know, the winter get cold. Feel me? So we got to make sure that we on point, you know. Make sure that you stacking up funds, get in hibernation mode, be prepared early. You know what I'm saying? I know it's summer, but at the end of the day, don't get lost in the sauce thinking that winter can't be right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? So again, read into what I'm saying and understand it. You know what I'm saying? You know, everything ain't always so literal. But hopefully you catch my vibe, catch my drift. Feel me? Other than that, talk to God today. If you didn't, you know the vibe. Talk to God today. I ain't leaving here without telling you, talk to God. Talk to God right now. I'm gonna say it 3 more times. Talk to God. Talk to God. Talk to God. If you ain't pray today, pray. Feel me? Read your Bible. If you ain't doing nothing that is going to benefit you with your relationship and your growth in Christ, then you need to be doing something right now. You need to go ahead and pick up your Bible. You need to do something. You need to read. You know what I'm saying? Again, the closest and quickest way that you gonna connect with God is through prayer. All you got to do is just say, hey God. And I bet you he respond to you. I bet you feel it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't know that you feel him, I bet you be feeling it. You feel me? Half the time, majority of the time, all the time, God is already right there. We just don't really be paying attention to it, because we be having so many different distractions and things in our face all day that, you know, it's easy again to get lost in that and not really know what's going on. But at the same time, boy, you gotta stay focused. You gotta stay disciplined. You gotta stay determined. You gotta stay in that, you know, that hunger mode where you chasing after him, because God really ain't gonna make you chase after him. The first moment that you know, ask for him to come to you, he really gonna meet you. He gonna meet you there, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta do your part, you know what I'm saying? Gotta play your role. God can't do everything for you. You know what I'm saying? He in the driver's seat, but you in the passenger, so you still, you know what I'm saying, you still play a role. You can't just be sleeping the whole trip. Feel me? You can't sleep the whole trip. You gotta help out. Feel me? Pass a drink or something. You know what I'm saying? Do something. Give me a sandwich. Help a nigga out. Feel me? But we out, man. Y'all make sure y'all hold it down. You feel me? Play with your family or something today. You know what I'm saying? If you got nieces and nephews, go outside with your nieces and nephews. I'm finna, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna see what I can do with my own nephews. I ain't got no nieces for real right now. We'll see if that happens in the future, but I ain't got no nieces, but I got the nephews. I gotta get outside with my nephews, man. Y'all know the vibes. But you know, business, you know, be crazy. You know what I'm saying? When you handling business, it just be crazy sometimes. For my workaholics, y'all know how that is. You know what I'm saying? But we always make time for the people. It's just crazy, you know. However,